All right, welcome to junk video, but lower. Uh, so today we're unboxing an actual box. Can you believe it? I say that 400 times a day. And today, YouTube, we're unboxing this beautiful thing. This is my second AM/FM TV. They're the same size, and they're the same model, but they're somehow made by different manufacturers, but ain't that just the way, you know? Okay, so right off the bat, boom, instruction manual, brand new. It no longer brand new. So it's got an instruction and an instruction manual in Spanish as well. That's cool. I'm just a sucker for pages like this, you know? I love that. I don't know what some of these things mean. I know what some of them mean, though. That's fun. That's fun. So, instruction manual. Cool. And then it's nicely packed up in some styrofoam. So I'm going to pull this out, which seems loose. And this is, oh dear. Well, it's like a car cigarette lighter, 12 volt, like, adapter, and then, a little doodad that I don't recognize right off the bat. It appears to be like a power adapter for like, oh, it's an antenna input. Yeah, because it's got the screws. Antenna? It's something. That's fun. And then what else is loose? There's the actual power supply, just 12 volt. I've been on the hunt for a 6 volt adapter for a while, and I even scabbed this one that's like adjustable. It like can switch between like 3 and 10, you know, like 3 or 12, you know, like it's got like a range. And it's got like multiple connectors on the other end, and I was like so excited. I thought this was going to work for the device, and then like it doesn't work at all. It doesn't work in any device, and I'm not sure why. And that might be something I take apart just to inspect, because hey, it's garbage. So that's everything that's loose, down to the naked styrofoam. So empty. Whoa, empty cardboard. But this is a decent box. I'll probably save this for some box-related activities. And then trying to minimize styrofoam on styrofoam noise, because it's like awful. I like it, but I recognize that it's awful. Okay, so it's in some plastic. That's fun. Manufactured July 2002. This one's lighter than the other one. Oh, it's because the other one's full of batteries. Okay, so my other one is silver. I love that this one is it's like a really dark gray, kind of a black. So behold, this is the 5.5-inch radio TV. This is only my second one, but like, I might be collecting these actually. They are so far the best thing I have found for my life dream of the TV wall. Oh, cool. Okay, this does have one feature that the other one doesn't have, which is a power supply manual switch. The other one just seems to rely on DC power and then just use battery power when it's not wired. And that's it. There's no control. This is very cool. There's external battery, and then also it says charge. Does that mean there's... Okay, well, this just says the power switch is for external power, such as the AC adapter or the car battery cord, and then battery for internal batteries. Oh, this is actually very brief. Okay, so it has some information about power sources, although it's primarily like FCC, you know, like, what is it, 15? There's a voltage selector on the AC adapter? Oh, there's not. No, there's not. Are those clips or just vents? I should have brought a magnifier. Yeah. I feel like breaking this open for no reason is probably not like the strongest opening move. So I'm just going to assume no, there is not a selector on this adapter. Okay, so let's just start with power. Start with power, talk about sources in a minute. So I ran this line from the ceiling, and so far it's staying up there really good. I took the prongs and just a smidge, just kind of like, you know, just get them. Okay. So standard box. Oh, it's fun. That's funny. It's got like a little plastic tail along one of the seams here in the instrument. Oh, what do you even call that? The input panel. Yeah, how's that? Okay, so this will just go. I feel like if I see it, then you can't see it, and if you can see it, then I just get in the way. Okay, so there's the DC in and the antenna inputs are right next to each other. That's okay. It's odd that the brightness and contrast knobs seem to require a screwdriver. Like, you can get in there and pinch them and, you know, get the job done. But, like, they, will you focus for the love of God? Focus. Do you get it? Oh, look at me. I'm gonna try and take a screenshot of that or something. That's pretty goofy. Maybe I should try it without the big block. Is that? Can you see me? Hello? Hey, what's up? Welcome to heaven. It's pretty chill here. Whatever you're into, just do it as much as you want. And if you change your mind or like want to do a different, you know, just chilling, just like vibes, or like whatever, like it's all good, just like just don't be a dick, like that's pretty much it. Like just come on down, come on in, hang, but like, what's up? Like, how are you? You need like a snack or something? You got like infinite, like snacks and whatever. Beanbag, hula hoop. Like, what are you into? Slinky? Slinky guy? Well, anyway, nice to meet you. I'll be here forever, all the time until forever's over, which is never. Little heaven humor for you. Heaven humor. That's right. We still have trouble with speech up here sometimes, just to keep things interesting. Yeah. Ha. All right. Well, peace out. Okay. Whatever. You saw nothing. Okay, so it's wired. Oh, it did say before plugging it in. Whoops. Okay, so it was on battery, which isn't loaded. It's on external power now. I heard it power up. Great, can you hear that? It's off now. Gonna plug it in. I mean, it's that, like, high-pitched electronic noise that I know some people lose their ability to hear as they get older. Oh, and look at that. I guess the power switch was already set to on. So, obviously, like, this is an analog receptor. This is, like, no different from what you would find in, like, a boombox. Like, you know, it just picks up radio signals. And it used to be most television was broadcast via radio, just in, like, a different band. Like, this part of the radio spectrum was for, like, music stations, you know, like FM radio. There's AM radio, but, like, you know, there was like a chunk of signal that was set aside for TV for a long time. And now, I'm pretty sure there's like some like emergency, like maybe like the Weather Channel or whatever, but even then, because this thing happened, where all broadcast television changed from analog to digital, or like, you know, radio to digital. So now everything is via like cable link, you know, the same kind of cables that your internet runs on. Sometimes, not really anymore, but, or by satellite, you know, just like mobile data, kind of, not just like it, barely like, like, you know, so, all the signals are digital now. It used to be, if you had the right radio equipment, you could snag signals out of midair. And they changed to digital for a bunch of reasons, but that's one of the reasons, is that people would build things where they could just watch whatever, you know, pull whatever TV signal they wanted, you know, given that it was, you know, a clear day and they had the right size antenna and, you know, like the stars were aligned. But now it's all digital. There's no signal to catch. I can pick up some radio, actual music radio. I don't know. What else is on? Let's find out.
105.7. Alternative.
That's Evanescence. Gotta get a little finesse in the tuning game. Oh! You can't... Yeah, so you even... I guess if I put the antenna up, I might have a little more luck.
Something interesting. We'll talk some Mike Tyson. Who's more... Mary Denham. Any
Man, it's popping off today. Yeah, alright, cool. So, power works great. Radio reception seems to be coming in pretty tight, although I am under pretty ideal conditions. It's a fairly clear day. There was some weather earlier, but it's gone. You know, there's some light cloud cover. I'm in like a suburban area. There's a lot of stations to choose from compared to the reception that I get in a mobile rig on the FM, like commercial bands. I don't know, I'm probably sitting at like 40 to 50% reception, and given that I'm just like sitting here screwing around with a hardwired antenna, that's pretty good. But it does have a place to plug in my own antenna, and that's really where this model of TV starts to be like good for my needs, is because it gives you a lot of things to play with. Like, some of it I wish was different. Like, one thing that I like is the power switch on the front. Because it tells, you know, you can put it in different modes. This is, for some reason, only wanting to focus on my shirt. But this says power. And then you have the option to put it in radio mode or to put it in TV mode. So the radio does not activate the screen, but it's pulling in signals, whereas, you know, the TV turns the screen on. And this is like my favorite thing about these TVs. is that you can just like tune into different kinds of static and just leave it on, you know, because the volume can be off. And you get a little bit of that. I just don't know what picks up on that mic, but, you know, you get a little bit of that, like TV feedback, you know. There we go. There we go. So I'm using the dialer over on this side. And due to just kind of like the nature of frame rate capture in video, I don't know what the digital analog for frame, I guess it's just still frame rate. I don't know. It's hard to actually see what it looks like visually because that like stripy pulsing thing is not visible on, ooh. That's fun. Kind of makes noise when you hit it. Just like a human. Yeah, so you can tune into different kinds of static. And, you know, I like the power switch. I like that it's a very simple physical switch between radio mode, TV mode. Love that. But then right next to it is an input switch that just lets you switch between AM, FM, very high, and ultra high, so like VH, UHF. And that kind of sucks. Because, like, sure, it's cool to be able to, like, make a large jump to an entire band. And it does have this kind of, like, interesting... Like, this is great, you know? Because, like, here's the FM frequency, here's the AM frequency, here's, I guess, very low. That might be, I don't know, even, like, CB. And then it's you know, very high frequency, ultra high frequency, and it's all just tunable right here. And if there were analog radio signals floating around on VL, VH, and UHF, then maybe we would be tuning into some things. Maybe I would even still need a better antenna wired into this before I would make any progress. But there are no signals out there. Certainly not like on the FM band where we can just scroll around and be like, okay, we're picking up some stuff. Like, even if I tuned into something that was active, there's a possibility it's like a few seconds of dead air. Or if it's a conversational band, you know, like maybe no one's there right now, you know? It's the toughest thing about testing radio equipment these days is even if you get on like fairly popular ham radio bands, until you already have a sense of repeater networks and CTCSSs and how to program your stupid Baofeng, you know, and like, or give up and do all analog. Like, it's like you already have to know everything before you can know anything. And it's just so frustrating. And so many, I was laughing with this guy the other day that I met at a junk slip where it was just like, people are so mean. People are so, hey, how you doing? Nice day for a walk.
Yeah. Better than being sitting in the house.
Yeah, you know, you don't get out every once in a while. You'll go stir crazy. Well, stay safe. Don't you tell me to stay safe, you sexy shit. I just like talking to the neighbors, you know, because, like, they don't want to talk either. But they'll be nice for a minute. So I'll just be like, hey. And they'll be like, hey. And I'll be like, how are you? And they're like, bad. And I'm like, me too, you know. I'm like tricking them into mutual aid. So there's no signals. There's no signals to pick up, but it does seem like this is perfectly operational. I do not love the input switch. I wish that, I don't know. I mean, this is a cool 1-2 punch that they have the input switch for like the major band. And then they have like a single tuning mechanism that applies to all of them. But I would really prefer something where, like, FM is tuned to this. And then, okay, I can switch to UHF, which is tuned to this, you know? But even then, there are, like, no HF frequencies. So, like, I guess what I really need is a time machine. Hey, who did that? Who said that? How dare you? It's arguing with me. See that stripe? That horizontal stripe? Camera shy. So that's pretty much the radio. Just like a couple other ports that are fairly self-explanatory. This is an earphone port right here. and you can just plug headphones in so you can like listen privately. And another really cool thing I found out is since it's just like a standard 3.5 millimeter jack, if you have like a scrap jack, like say your headphones went bad and they're like those old school, you know, like foamy, plasticky and stuff, where it's like not super worth repairing, unfortunately. Well, one of the best things you can do, because there's like cool things you can do to salvage like a cheap headset, you know, very easy to turn into earmuffs or like, you know, any kind of like anything you need a headband for. Boom. But at the very end, the little plug, if it's that standard 3.5 millimeter that fits inside like most like boom boxes, CD players, some phones, etc., cut it off. Well, it's not plugged in, of course, so there's no power. Cut it off. Feeling feisty, put a little tape on the edge of it, but who cares? And then you have a 3.5 millimeter plug that you can stick in to any device with a headphone jack as like a mute. Because most devices, when they sense that they have headphones in them, stop creating audio via like speakers, like interior hardware speakers. So whether you're worried about something inappropriate playing in your lecture hall, or waking up a roommate, or these give off this like awful low level feedbacky garbage that's just barely audible through their speakers unless you plug in one of these doodads. So little doodad hack for you. Okay, so on the back there's that battery power source selector, and this battery bay looks big. Ooh, it's bigger than the other one. The other one runs on 6, and this one no, that can't be right. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. About to spend $30 powering this thing. These god awful, they're those really fat, is that D cell or C cell? D cell. And they're just fat and awful. And they're horrible, and they're horrible for the environment. They're disposable, and they really don't make that many rechargeable ones. Although, it does have, right there on the power selector, it says plain as day, external, battery, and then the third input is charge. So, I don't know. I don't really like power cells of this nature. I like relying on hardline power that I can, you know, troubleshoot and recycle and whatever. And so I don't know that much about like external power cells. Certainly not as much as I could. Oh, that's nice design, actually. It doesn't slide very far. Yeah. Okay, nice design on the battery case, although it is not at all watertight. I definitely need to worry about a good footing for this. Nice looking screws. I just wonder if charge means charging the batteries. Are there rechargeable D cells? That would be a game changer. I mean, I guess there'd have to be, but are they like $50, you know? And then there, you know, there's the knobs for brightness and contrast. Cool. Maybe able to get some like exciting different static. And then there's this other knob that is the vertical hold control. And vertical hold control. Oh, we were talking about the picture rolling earlier. Part of the picture rolling is the effect of like this camera. Like this camera looking at something like that is going to make it look like it's rolling, just like how sometimes if you see like a car wheel spinning at a high speed, or like a helicopter blade at like a high speed, and like you're seeing it through a camera, sometimes it like looks choppy or weird, or like it's running backwards or whatever. So the vertical hold, well, that's one thing. That's because of the camera. But if you were right here looking with your eyeballs, you wouldn't see that effect. But what you might see if we were getting a picture signal is an effect almost like, you know, it happens sometimes with film reels, actually, where like the picture's out of sync with the projection. What? Vertical hold just is a hold on the scrolling of like a vertical image. So it's a little bit of a control if you are getting in a variable signal like that that looks distorted. So that's what that's for. So, oh, it says right here, it says it takes C size batteries. What's the difference between C and D? Batteries suck. Batteries suck. Well, I don't know. That's not true. Okay, so I guess that's my unboxing. That's everything that's in the box. That's all the things this does, and that's all the things that I can think to tell you about it for right now. And that's it.